everyone, this is Madison, and this is my second installation of my Mad Movie Reviews. The first one that I did, of course, was the Resident Evil costume fail vlog, so if you haven't seen that one, you might want to go ahead and check that one out. It's where I basically discuss the failure of the choices behind Alice's costume in the first movie and the fail of Jill Valentine's costume in Apocalypse. I'm not really going to do any vlogs based on movies 3 and 4 because I don't watch them as often as I watch 1 and 2, and so I really only pinpoint like problems within movies that I'm very, very familiar with. So this one I'm going to call Resident Evil Part 2 because that, Part 2. And it mostly discusses the ongoing events inside of the first movie itself. And the majority of it has a lot to do with the Red Queen. So, if you want to watch the first vlog, go ahead and you can, but it's really not relative to this vlog in particular. They just happen to be from the same movie. One of the things that I would like to brush over with the Red Queen was that, this is an AI that was built and installed by, she was designed and built and installed by the head programmer of Umbrella. And she's supposed to be extremely sophisticated. So you would think that Umbrella would like to make certain that they had remote access to the Red Queen whenever they felt like they needed to. I mean, they would want to be able to log in and check things out, read log files, issue commands, to talk to her, whatever. You don't just install a highly sophisticated system into an underground secret laboratory, especially one that is baking viral weapons of love, without ensuring that you, the prime operators and or owners above, have access to that system. Unless you're a complete fucking idiot, which Umbrella obviously must be. So with that being said, why in the hell, in the opposite direction, why in the hell didn't the Red Queen contact Umbrella herself and tell them, hey guys, look, that T-virus, well, it kind of got loose in the ventilation system and everyone here in the hive is infected, so I'm just going to, take some precautionary measures and shut this shit down. And don't come here, it's not pretty and it's quite dangerous. Of course, she would have said it in her cute little girly British accent, but I can't do that, so, you'll just have to hear it in your head on your own. And she would have used better wording than I did as well. But so in the opening scene, we see Spence, even though we don't know it's him yet, stealing the virus and the antivirus and making a run for it. We are then shown that the virus is obviously airborne as he then intentionally throws a vial, smashing it open, and runs his ass off, presumably to get the hell out of Dodge, so that he can avoid infection himself. Even though he's got the antivirus, he wants to make sure that he doesn't take the chance of getting infected. So, the virus begins to get loose at the air ducts. We see that it's airborne. They make it very clear because they do pan in on the air duct system to kind of give you that impression that that's where it's going. So it's confirmed. It's airborne. So the Red Queen is alerted and begins scanning all of the areas for signs of infection, which amounts to everywhere. It even shows that she can scan individuals to see if they are infected and if they are, to what degree, which it really doesn't matter because your time limit, I think, is only a couple of hours according to Alice in the second movie. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. So obviously this AI, the Red Queen, is a very, very top of the line piece of technology. So she then decides, to do what I guess, in her opinion, is the intelligent thing to do, which is shut the hive down in order to prevent the infection from spreading to the Raccoon City above, which, that's awesome. She's thinking in terms of preventing further infection. But she doesn't stop there. No. She decides that she's going to go on a mass killing spree, which is kind of inane considering that I don't think that zombies know how to operate trains or doors, especially when she's locked them and they're without power because she shut the power down. So, I mean, if you think about the one scene where the remaining team members are locked inside the Red Queen's chambers and they're banging on the doors, like, what about this door? No, they're out there too. There's zombies. You can hear them clearly banging from the other side of the door, so it's quite clear that they don't know how to operate simple handles on a door. So, there really wasn't a need to go as far as she did, and we're going to get to that in a second. Really, there wasn't really any need to do anything but really seal off the front door and shut the power down, because they're zombies. They don't really do much. They kind of shamble slowly, and you could really kind of run from them if you want to. You don't have to fight them. You can just run. But anyway, so nothing that she did prevented them from changing into zombies, so there was no reason to go on this mass killing spree. It would make more sense if she killed them before, like, infection completely took place and caused transformation, but you get the impression in the movie that it didn't matter anyhow, because it seems like everybody that got infected, regardless of the level of infection or the low level of infection that they were exposed to, became zombies later anyhow. So this whole idea of going on this mass killing spree was really redundant. And so, like I said, she really didn't accomplish anything but preventing, them from leaving the hive, and really that should have been it should have just stopped there. She should have contacted Umbrella and said, hey, I'm shutting the hive down. Shit's gotten pretty ugly down here. Don't send anybody, just find a way to just blow this shit up, or collapse it or whatever. So let's get back to the killings. Some of these people she seals in their workrooms and floods with a sprinkler system. Now, somebody who is watching this vlog has to be smart enough to figure this one out for me, because I'm not going to Google it, and I'm not going to try to figure it out. I'm not that great at math. How long would it take for a room that large to fill up with water using sprinklers? Somebody be smart enough to answer that for me properly. But anyway, some people she decides to kill by dropping the elevators they are in and crashing them at the bottom. And the rest she releases a poison gas on, knocking them out, and killing them. But, like I said, then again, they haven't even transformed into zombies yet, so the infection hasn't even fully gone through yet. But it doesn't matter, there's another plot discrepancy right there. They haven't become zombies yet, but when the team gets there, they're full-on zombies. So this whole mass killing thing that she did didn't serve her purpose, because it didn't prevent them from becoming zombies. If all of the things that she had actually successfully prevented these people from transforming into the zombies that you see in the movies, then I could understand and justify what she did, but it didn't. So there's no justification of that. So all these poor infected workers are just killed early off before they even become zombies. So how did they become zombies? And if they're killed off, how did that happen? So, now you have to remember earlier in the movie we were told that Alice and Spence occupied the mansion as security ops above, pretending to be married to protect the entrance to the hive. Well, if that's the case, then why in the hell did the Red Queen knock Alice out? Okay? What need was there for the house defenses to be activated? I mean, you're supposed to be this intelligent, artificially intelligent computer system. Wouldn't you, want your security operator to be alert and aware and ready to take action and guard that door? I mean, that's her whole purpose. So don't you want to, contact her and say, hey, Alice, make sure nothing comes in and nothing goes out, do something. Well, apparently not. She gasses Alice in the shower, and boom, down to the tile she goes. So the Red Queen, she's supposed to be so smart, but yet makes no sense whatsoever with the things that she does, So Umbrella then decides to dispatch a team to investigate what happened, which easily could have been resolved, once again, via communications, as I mentioned earlier. Red Queen to Umbrella, Umbrella to Red Queen. Hey, dudes, what's up? Guess what? This is all the shit's going down. There would have been no reason to send people down there. All they would have had to do was say, okay, well, now that we know what's going on, how do we just demolish it? It is underground, so you can't just, blow it up, without collapsing the buildings above it. You got to figure a way to get rid of it. But anyway, so this team is sent out. They barge into the mansion, smashing through the windows and all that kind of shit, all geared up and wearing gas masks. They realize Alice is worthless to them as she is suffering from acute memory loss, and there's also a person named Matt Addison proclaiming to be a freshly transferred Raccoon City cop. For whatever reason, they decide it's safe to remove their masks. Although at this stage in the movie, no one has stated that it was safe to do so, but they proceed to, take their mask off and then drag along, Alice and Matt with the team to the secret entrance to the access to the hive. So once inside, they will need to take the train that is there due to how far along, down the hive it is beneath Raccoon City. So let's go back once again to the fact that this virus is shown as being airborne in the opening part of the movie. So when the team arrived at the mansion, how is it that they didn't automatically get infected upon entering into the hive? The operative, the main, black guy, who I now know his name is James One Shade, but they never even call him by name in the movie. So that's his name. He's Operative James One Shade. He mentions, quote, 5 hours ago, Red Queen went homicidal, and she sealed the hive and killed everyone down here. Well, crap, don't you think it would be wise to keep those gas masks on that you were wearing when you crashed into the mansion in the beginning? I mean, if you thought the mansion was a potential threat, what about the fact that the Red Queen gassed everyone and the T-virus was running rampant through the air system? Did the Red Queen somehow manage to dissipate the T-virus in the hive within those 5 hours? And if she did, why did she communicate that and not everything else beforehand? So how come not a single one of them became infected when entering a highly contagious area? Or all of them, actually, for that matter. So now here's a real kicker. I like this one. This one's my favorite. I understand the Red Queen decided to shut everything down and why. But in this scene where they are all boarding the train and they realize that the power has been cut and they won't be able to use the train to get down to the hive until the power is restored, the one soldier, I guess, I don't know what to call her, Rain, then she states something along the lines of, "I'm on it," and proceeds to jump underneath the train and physically grabs these two large wires and reconnects the power lines. Now, how in the hell did the Red Queen manage that? I mean, that's some powerful ass shit. I mean, I can understand she locking, gassing and flooding and locking, and how the hell did she manage to physically disconnect two large power lines that are about that big around? Please explain that one to me, because I'm calling bullshit on that one right there. Just total bullshit on that one. So now the crew are on the train being somewhat debriefed, and there's a door, and they decide to open it up, and out slumps the unconscious Spence, the guy who stole everything and was making a getaway. Because apparently the same defenses that were released in the house were also released on the train, and the Red Queen was powerful enough to disconnect the actual physical power lines. So at this point in the movie, that's the only thing they notice, okay? Out slumps Spence onto the floor. That's it. That's all you know. Some guy just falls to the floor. He's unconscious. And he also has acute memory loss, just like Alice. So why is it that when they found him originally, they didn't see... Now, he stole a case of the virus and the antivirus. And it was with him on the train in that room the whole time. So why is it that when they found him, they didn't see the case with him at that particular time? Because at the end of the movie, when Spence has informed them of this, we already know that Rain is infected, and they now know that the antivirus is right outside their door. Yet the Red Queen informs them, "I don't deal in chance." Well, bitch, you could at least let one person out there to grab the antivirus, bring it back to Rain, inject her with it, and wait to see what happens, you stupid evil brat. Because if Rain recovers, then let them all leave. And if Rain returns into a flesh-craved zombie, then let them kill her, then let them leave. We already know that the Red Queen can tell whether or not they're infected, so if everyone is virus-free, let them go. Game over. Also, let us not forget that she's refusing to allow the team to leave this room and go out to the train platform where the antivirus and the train are, because Rain is infected and stands the chance of spreading the disease, the virus, outside of the hive into Raccoon City. Yet, she allows that monstrosity of a beast loose on the platform for the sole purpose of hunting down and killing Spence. Okay, Rain can't go out there because she might infect people, but this bitch can? Oh, no. I don't know. Okay, this beast it's humongous. It's at the platform, and it chows down on Spence. We see that. It kills him. So Spence was too much of a liability since he had the virus and the antivirus and could thus sell it to someone else. So obviously she wanted him stopped, so she let loose this thing. I'm just going to call it a hunter killer because I don't know what it's actually called. But if Rain gets out up to Raccoon City while infected through the platform, then she could infect others if they can't manage to take her down in time. So obviously she could not be allowed to go either, unless the Red Queen allowed them to access the antivirus first and waited to see if it worked. But this thing wouldn't even need that terrain. I mean, it just could just mosey on up the ramp, crawling up the walls, and bam, begin running rampant all over Raccoon City. If you remember, when it was released, it broke out of a steel thick metal cage thing. The walls were like that thick, and it busted right through it like it was paper. And it could just, the door between the train platform and the mansion would be like tissue to this thing. And it would go running rampant all over Raccoon City, devouring everyone in its path. But, remember, the Red Queen doesn't deal in chance. Well, we already know that it moves awfully fucking fast because it was able to catch up to the train as the remaining people were trying to make their getaway. It vaulted right up that train's ramp without a problem, and caught up to them and tore the doors open and got in. So, that is a basic... that you won't let someone retrieve an antivirus and try it out, but you'll let that abomination out into an area where it can reach the mansion's entrance and end up rampaging its way unchecked through the city above. Do you have a contingency plan for that, you smart-ass, holographic, sadistic, sarcastic little bitch? Did you think about that scenario before doing that? I don't think you did. Okay, so I'm going to try to wrap this up. It's getting kind of long. My last gripe is with those damn Doberman pinchers. I mean, we see the Dobermans starting to bark and get all pissy when the virus gets out in the air system, and they're all locked up in these cages, okay? They're caged Dobermans. All of the Dobermans were caged. So I understand that, yes, they got infected as well, but what happened? Did a zombie feel bad for their fur baby brethren and set them free? Or did the dogs get super strength when they turned and chewed their way out of those cages? Because the zombies didn't seem to have super strength. I mean, the most that they ever did was shamble, 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 lunge. But these Dobermans were like badass. So how did they get out? And, they're definitely very badass, because if you remember the scene where Alice is, round kicking a damn Doberman, that Doberman's not shambling like a zombie. It's coming at her at like a bullet speed. So I just, there's just so much in this movie that just bothers me. But, most of it had a lot to do with the Red Queen and her decisions or the lack of decisions, the nonsense behind her decisions, and especially with not letting them get the antivirus and try it out on Rain, but letting that hunter-killer abomination thingy loose on the platform, because she's been a bad, bad girl. Crap, I thought I was done, but I'm not. This is it, I promise you, this is the last part. Okay, so at the very end, when Rain's been killed because she did turn into a zombie, even though they gave her the injection and it didn't work, Matt's being infected because he was scratched by that hunter-killer thing, and all of a sudden, right before Alice can give him the antivirus, they are separated because the Umbrella shows up and just, decides to go ahead and grab them, and they decide they're going to put Matt in the Nemesis program. So they do mention that they want to assemble a team and send it back down to the hive because they want to know what went on down there. You have Alice in your possession. Can't you just interrogate the woman and say, "Hey, Alice, give us the scoop. What happened?" Good God, people, you guys are fucking morons, Umbrella.